Hello and good evening. Welcome to the Expression Mentorship Bootcamp. So, yes, I would love to know who is here. If you're watching this as a replay, um, I would still love you to have the experience as if you were doing that live. You can, respond in time if that makes you more engaged. Okay, so I'd love to know who is here before we get started. Welcome, welcome. So today I decided to make this an open session. That means I put out this link on some other platforms for those who have been in my inner circle on my mentoring platforms so that you can all benefit from this conversation. Okay. I promise it's not going to be like the regular thing. It's not going to drag, and it's going to be fun. Okay. It's going to be fun for us this time that we have now. We should be done in roughly the next 45 minutes, maximum 1 hour, maximum 1 hour. Okay, so I would want to get your feedback before I get started. Mhm. Your feedback. Okay, welcome. Let me give some time for you to join in and settle down, get your notes. Hmm. Okay, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. I'm not seeing. Is there an issue? If anybody is experiencing any issues, please let me know in the group. Okay, amazing. Amazing. Now I can see. Now I can see. Welcome. Welcome. Let's get started. Let's get started. I'll be looking at the group, the not the group, I mean the comment box. I'll be looking at the comment box from time to time to ensure that I keep in touch with your comments. Okay? So please do not hold back your comments. Let it be as engaging as possible. Okay, so tonight we'll be discussing the art of expression, getting started, what you need to know. Okay, there's some basic things that you need to know that would help you, get this, what this whole thing is about, why this mentoring program, why. Why does he exist? Why do you need to listen to me speak about this? And let me tell you a bit of a background story, right? And this story is not about me, it's about the average young person in different parts of the world. So you've been sold a dream that, life is going to be good if you go to school, make good grades, come outside, get a good job, get married, give birth to children, and die, right? To some people, that sounds like, okay, yeah, that's something I would want to do. But to some other people, it sounds really boring. It sounds unfulfilling. It sounds restricted. Sounds, you know, out of place. And the shocker, imagine doing all of that. You've solved the mathematical problem with the equation that society handed to you, all for you to get to the end of your solving and realize that you got it all wrong. They told you that when you solve and do 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 minus 3 times 0 plus 4, they told you that, okay, when you're done with this, it's going to be 4 at the end of the day. However, you are now beginning to realize that at the end you got 4 and you checked to find out that, well, it wasn't really 4. It wasn't really 4. It was 9 or 8 or 16, right? This is the reality check for a lot of people, for a whole lot of people. You get to the end of that pursuit and you find out that there's almost nothing left for you. There's almost nothing left. Okay? And you have exhausted your youthfulness from one regular thing to the other, regular things, right? So now the background story is that at the end of the day, I mean, this whole thing, people are pursuing things, mundane things, you know, go to school, get a good job, and all of that. That's wonderful. But at the end of the day, it's mundane, it's regular, it's normal, it's what every other person is doing. So let me ask you a question. How about your dreams? How about your visions? How about your skills? How about your talents? How about what is hidden inside of you? How about the much depth that you can uncover and dig within you? How about the results that you can get? How about all the good things that can come from figuring out the more within? Okay, so this whole conversation will not be possible without a mindset shift. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be possible without a mindset shift. Okay, so like I was saying, okay, so like I was saying, the whole essence of this is to help you to figure out your lowest hanging fruits. You see, these arts of expression, they are your lowest hanging fruits. You know why? You've been doing them all through your life. The only difference is that you've not been making money from them. You've been writing all through your life. You've been speaking all through your life. You talk to people, you talk to your friends, you talk to your classmates. You've been doing that all through your life. But it's not brought you so much glory, honor, or income. Okay? So that's one thing. Now let's go to the next point. Basically, today, what we are going to be doing is understanding these concepts. What is expression? Why expression? Why do I need this? Why do I need to listen to this? Why do I need to get started? You know, and then how am I going to even get started? Is it for me? There's some secret questions a lot of you may have. Is it for me? Okay. So we're going to be looking at certain points here. Um, we're going to be looking at the purpose of expression. The purpose of expression. That's number one thing we're looking at. Hmm? Why expression? Two, the forms of expression. The forms of expression. Hmm? The forms of expression. Number three, the foundations of expression. Foundations of need to know so that you can be an exceptional expression expert. Now, what I'm advocating within the course of this program is that everyone who is at the sound of my voice would have one or two or three dimensions of expression that they are emerging in or dominating. Do you get it? Everyone who is listening to me now, you must, by a must matter, by force, you must have one, two, three, four dimensions of expression that you are dominating, so much that by this time next year, if your name is mentioned anywhere, there will be people that will say, oh wow, I love the way this guy writes, I love the way she writes, I love the way he talks, I love the way he speaks. That's what this program is about. Unlocking, unleashing, and becoming unstoppable. Okay. I said I want to see your comments. I want to see your comments. There's a way to comment. There's surely a way to comment. There's a comment section. So don't just stay and view. That's how I will know who is participating. Okay. Let me put it this way. If you are in the U3 mentorship group, in the mentoring program, if you paid for the program, if you are in that WhatsApp group, comment. This is your attendance. Okay. The others, you don't have to worry. If you're not in the group, you don't have to worry. Okay, don't pressure yourself. But if you're in that WhatsApp group, you must comment here. I must see your name. I must see your name. If not, you will not be recognized as part of those who attended this program. Okay, I would not recognize you. I won't give you any certificate of attendance. You just came along. You just came along to hang out, right? But if you're following, if you're really following this training, I want your comments here. Okay, I'm looking out for it. So like I was saying, we're looking at all of these things from trying to figure out the foundation, the foundations, what will make you good with expression. And remember, I said by the end of this program, you must have what you are working on. If you're working on something already, it must have gotten better. This program is costing me a lot. It cost me a lot to put this together. I won't lie. You may not understand, but it did cost me a lot. So don't trivialize it. Okay? Don't trivialize it. So we're looking at the foundations of expression. We're going to look at the barriers, okay, the challenges. Then we'll look at roadmap. Okay, all of this may not come at once. All of these come at once, but we'll do the much we can today. I'm not in a hurry. We have 1 month for this, and it is well spaced. It is very well spaced. We'll have nothing less than 5 classes. The target is 5 classes, 5 sessions. 2 of my sessions, and then we'll have some practice time, and we'll have um 3 of my sessions, no, 3 of my sessions, and then that with Esther and that with um Ella. Okay, that's Coach Esther, Catherine Esther Clement and Coach Ella Obans. And these are leaders in their own industry. I'm not talking about just Nigeria. I mean, across Nigeria, across the continent, they are doing amazingly well. And I'm going to be bringing them on board. Okay. Um, I've been given some grace because, I didn't start putting this out on time. So a lot of people who need this didn't hear about it. Okay. So I'm giving some grace now for those who are listening to this and you would want to get more. You would want to be part of the full program, the entire program, and also get a certificate of participation that's endorsed by my brand and their own brands. I'm giving that opportunity now to find a way, drop a comment or send a DM, find a way to reach out now, this night, this evening, or within the next 72 hours, within the next 72 hours. I'll prefer today because I may not see it. I may not see it if it's not coming in today. Okay. So back to what I was saying. These are the things that we'll be looking at. Okay. Let's go back to you know what expression is. What expression is. This is one of the things a lot of people still find very difficult. Many people find expression difficult. So the average person, when you tell him, hello, please may I know you, he goes into shock. Can you introduce yourself? He begins to shake, right? Because he doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't know how to introduce himself in a public place. Okay. And when it comes to writing, a lot of people don't know how to write. They don't know how to express their thoughts. It comes to, you know, public speaking. Many people would melt if they stand on any stage. Okay. And then you may be tempted to ask, why am I doing expression mentorship instead of picking one or public speaking mentorship or writing mentorship? Okay, okay. So sorry about that break in transmission. So like I was saying, why am I doing why am I doing this instead of having just an isolated program, public speaking or writing or spoken word poetry, whatever. But I believe in having a holistic view of things so that you can even have more clarity. In the course of the training, you may figure out that, okay, maybe I want to learn writing more. Maybe I want to be more serious with my public speaking. Maybe I want to be more serious with my, training or coaching, you know, maybe, but there must be something, right? And it's always good to have a glimpse of all three, all four, as many as they are. It's always very good to have a glimpse of all of them. Now, take a look at me, for example. There's almost no atmosphere I have not penetrated in terms of training. Hmm? There's almost no audience, no kind of audience I have not reached out to. I've trained, I've done training programs for children. I've done training programs for parents, for adults, for youth. I've done training programs for professionals. I mean, medical doctors, nurses, you know. I've done training programs for consultants. I've done programs for executive class of people, C-suite leaders. I've done stuff for young people, right? And I write across different types of, Writing categorizations. I do copywriting. I write sales copy. I write sales letters, especially for my brand. I write sales copy for other organizations, whether contracted or pro bono. I write content. I write articles. I write content on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. I write books. I've written books. I have my manuscripts ready for more than 20 books. If I have all the money right now to publish all of them, I can do the publishing in less than 1 week, for all of them. It's a great advantage. Okay. Now, like I was saying, there's public speaking, there's writing, there's spoken word poetry, there's coaching, teaching, training, all of them. As long as you are bringing out your voice, bringing out your thought, and you are expressing it, you are expressing yourself, your ideologies, your philosophies, your thought patterns, your mindset, you are passing it on to another person. That is what this expression thing is all about. Communication. That is to say, you must be good at communication. It's a must. You must be really good with communicating your thoughts. Okay. And there are basically three pillars for this, three core pillars. Number one is influence. Number two is impact. Number three is income. Or let me start with impact. One is impact, two is influence, three is income. That number one, see, expression is power. If you do not have a means of expressing what is inside of you, you will just be an ordinary person, a passerby in this world. The ones who are respected, the ones who are admired, the ones who are adored, the ones who are revered in the society, they are usually the ones who are expressing something. Check it. If I ask you to call the names of 5 people you admire, most of them are expressing something, even if they are actors. Acting is also a means of expression. They are musicians, they are expressing. They are pastors, they are expressing. Think about it. That's why it's easier for you to remember a movie star than to remember a medical doctor or even remember a physiotherapist, because I know some of my people may be here. When they say, oh, mention a successful physiotherapist, it's hard. The ones you most likely remember are the ones who are in the expression sphere. The doctors you will remember, medical doctors, are the ones who are in the expression sphere. When they say mention a successful medical doctor or any medical doctor you admire, most people here, I know what you will mention. It's Ben Carson. I don't need to ask. It's Ben Carson. Why? Expression. He wrote a book. He contested as a politician. He speaks. He writes. He mentors. Dude is expressing impact. People will know you for your impact when you are expressing that impact. Okay? You write books. You can change the world through your books. You can do mentorship and raise people, raise amazing leaders and all of that. Okay? Impact. Your impact is louder when you can push it with your voice or with your hands through your pen. There's influence. You can create great change through expression. Presidents have caused people to vote for them through expression. What's this guy's name? The one who wrote, the German soldier. What's his name again? Adolf Hitler. Yeah. Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler made a lot of impact. Impact must not always be positive. Sometimes impact can be negative. You are able to convince people. I don't mean impact, sorry, influence. Influence is all about persuasion. So if you write, if you speak, if you train or teach, you can easily get people to take an action that you want them to take. Remember, I said it's hard to remember people who are not expressors. Permit me to use the word expressor. It's hard to, you know, it's hard to actually mention successful people who are not in the expression sphere. Okay? So influence, you can convince people easily to do what you want them to do through expression. Somebody comes out tomorrow and says, "Oh, tomorrow let everybody wear black for Nigeria. We want to mourn the country. We are mourning the bad leadership. Everybody wear black tomorrow." And you'll be shocked. The next day, everybody's on black and black. That's influence. And it comes through expression. Expression rules the world. Look at the likes of Very Dark Man or Mr. P2B or um who else? Even Omoyele Showore. Look at these people, their calibers, the kind of human beings they are, and the force that they pull in terms of, you know, in terms of influence. It is because they do not hold back when it comes to expression. They are intentional about expression. Expression determines your brand, your perception, your identity. Without expression, you'll pretty much be winking in a dark room. Nobody knows you. If you're not creating content, you shouldn't expect anybody to buy what you are selling. Expression rules the market. Expression shapes your identity. So the next one is income. Income. Remember, I said part of the reasons we're doing this training, I'm doing this mentoring program, is because I have noticed that I am not comfortable living as a peasant, and I don't want that for anybody. Okay. I've been to a few job interviews, and it was a laughable situation. It was, I mean, situations, because it's not just one. And I realized that these people do not really want you to have a life. Some of these people, let me not say all, but some of these people don't want you to have a life. And you should anticipate it. If you are younger here, and maybe you're in school or you're just fresh out of school, you're doing your internship or whatever, anything at all, you're not yet fully in the job market. I want you to promise yourself that you would not depend on a job. I want you to promise yourself that you will find alternatives on time. I shared a post today about how work related stress is part of what is killing people. So, the average young Nigerian who is working a 9 to 5 now is probably earning just enough to afford their transport to their work and back. By the time you add feeding and electricity bill, it's all gone. It's all gone. So it's more like even if they didn't go to that work, right? But they have a little to manage, they'll be living better, jobless. A lot of people are actually living better lives without a job than with a job. Okay? But one of the ways to circumvent, one of the ways to bridge this gap is through expression. I wouldn't teach you what I don't practice or what I have not practiced. The first time I made 100,000 naira collective in my account, I just, was able to see 100,000 naira together in my account was far back in 2020 when I was hosting all this personal development boot camp, digital learning boot camp, personal branding boot camp, and all of that. That was the first time. That was the first time. I didn't even expect, I didn't anticipate it, you know. I didn't expect it, but it happened, right? So it means that you can be in your, one of the advantages of this thing that I'm teaching you is that it is borderless. Expression is borderless. It's borderless. You can do it from anywhere, from the comfort of your room. You can do it without even putting on clothing. I mean, I'm being serious now. You don't need to leave. You don't need to go. Look at this. I'm speaking to a group of people. You know, this is a paid training, but I'm in my house by this time of the night. It's not discomforting to me. I'm comfortable where I am. I can change position. I can even lie down. I can lay down on my bed while speaking. But I won't do that just so I don't sleep off. So that's one of the things that you need to know. It's a huge opportunity and advantage, and it is still very unregulated. So penetrate the market on time. They say market is saturated, market is saturated. It can never be saturated as long as you have what people need. Okay? So income is one of them. You can make money from what you know. You can write and sell your books. You can, there's just a whole lot that you can do. Okay? There's a whole lot you can do. I want you to see it. The average person who is earning 200,000 naira salary, for example, 200,000. I'm using naira because I mean, majority of people who are here definitely Nigerians. So 200,000 naira, for example, and you work how many days in a week? Let's say 20. You don't work weekends. Health professionals cannot relate because I know most of you physios, doctors, nurses, some of you are sleeping in the hospital. But you work 9 to 5, and let's say you work actively 8 hours a day, and you earn 200. Divide the 200 by um yeah, divide 200 by 20, 20 working days. So that is roughly 10,000 naira. Okay, 10,000 naira. That is per day, right? Now that 10,000 naira divided by 8 hours. So let's find out what you are earning hourly. So 10,000 divided by 8, that is, okay, no, don't divide by 8 here too. Remove your transport fare. So let's say your transport fare is 2,000 going and coming back, right? Which most times, most if you live in Abuja, you would know. Most times your transportation fare to your workplace can almost never be less than 1,200 naira. But let me just call it 1,000. So remove that. That equals 8,000 naira remaining. That's what you're earning per day minus transport. Okay, 8,000 naira divided by 8 hours. I did not remove feeding money because if I remove feeding for work that you did, it may probably be 3,000 left. But let me just do the benevolence. Divide 8 by 8. That is 1,000. 1,000 naira per hour. That is literally what you are being paid for your time for 200k salary, right? But then look at what's happening today. A lot of people, when you see a 200k offer or 150k job offer and it's posted online, there's a flock of people who pursue that as if their lives depend on it. People are going for interviews, they are preparing. Some people will go and pay 50,000 naira to an interview coach to help them prepare for an interview that will pay, the job will pay them 100,000 naira monthly. So it means they will need to save for maybe 3 months to cover up the money that they paid for the interview coach to help them. And at the end of the day, they may not even get the job. It does not make sense. Let's be sincere. It makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense. Okay? I'm not saying you shouldn't work, but then while you are doing all these things, are you thinking deeply about the alternatives? Are you creating something for yourself? And this is why I'm bringing this up. One of the ways to create something for yourself is through expression. Expression. Write a book, create a course, offer training, host a mentoring program, do something. It's not even about the price that you charge. There's freedom that comes from knowing that you can do something and people will pay you for it. That you can offer a program, even if it's 1,000 naira. Yes, the country is rough now. People cannot even afford to eat, not to talk of afford 3,000 naira for training. It's the pathetic truth that we are facing. I know. It's the reality that we are facing. So even if you are doing a training and you're saying, "Oh, I want to just something very affordable. I made this training very affordable. Yeah, I made this particular training. At least I created a basic ticket that is very, 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 very insanely affordable." Why? Because I don't want money to be an excuse from anybody. Let it be that you are paying for commitment. So there's dignity, there's pride, there's joy that comes from doing something, and you know that okay, when you do this, some people can pay for this and they will have access to it. The value, the regard, the honor that comes from it is unmatchable than just waiting, sitting and waiting every month for the amount that comes in and it will finish immediately comes in. Okay, so that's another thing. Income is one other thing that you can get from expression. Are you with me? So let's go to the next one. Okay, so we've discussed why it matters. Okay, why you need to express yourself clearly, the honor, the respect, the dignity, you know, impact, influence, income, creating alternative careers, opening up opportunities for you in business, everywhere. Okay, I've given examples of people that if I call their names, they come to you because they are expressors, because they are figures and emblems of expression. Okay, you have to express yourself. If it's not writing, speaking, drama, content creation, whatever it is, figure out what you want to really do. Okay, now what are the forms? Let's look at the forms quickly. Number one is public speaking. Number one is public speaking. And as I'm mentioning this, take note of what they are and how they can be of help to you. Take note of them, how they can be of help to you. These can change your life. Public speaking is one. Okay, I've done programs on public speaking, full-blown programs on public speaking, mentorship programs, coaching programs on public speaking. So like everything you need to become an exceptional public speaker from A to Z. Okay, and I'll be sharing a lot of insights on public speaking as well. In fact, I have somebody who has been in, been on global stages, been on very powerful stages, who will come and also throw insight on speaking and spoken word poetry. Okay, so speaking, these are the vocal components, these are the vocal forms of expression. Speaking, spoken word poetry, and look after what this entails. There are things around it. It's not just talking, it's an art. Expression is an art. So it's not just that you are talking for people to listen and hear you. No, the body language, the clarity, the confidence in your message, in your delivery, your style, how you carry yourself. When it comes to spoken word poetry, things like rhythm will start coming in. authenticity starts coming in. So now, one thing about expression arts is what we call poetic or creative license. Creative license. It means that you have the liberty to embrace your originality and your authenticity while delivering your own message in a unique way. Embrace your uniqueness, deliver in your unique manner. How many of you know the general comedy? The general. He's now Shifu the general. Hmm? The general comedy. He started doing comedy. I cannot even remember what he used to do before, but now he has moved on. He has redefined comedy. He's now doing karate and all of that, Chinese kung fu, integrating Nigerian and Chinese kung fu and all of that. All those stories, beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. Look at Sabinus with his storytelling, innovative. So you can see that a lot of times, what makes these people powerful is not that they just sit and figure out one thing and say, "Oh, I want to be a writer," and then they start writing, and they start next thing, boom, they have become popular. No, they knew how to integrate these things. So you must not become an expert at one. Sometimes all you need is to just be good at one, two, three. Integrate that three and build something that has never been built before. Even if it has been built before, you will do it in a better way, because this the first person or the second, or how many people that have done it before, they didn't do it the way you did it. So take Sabinus, for example, the comedian Sabinus. Why do look let's look at the points of expression in what he does in his comedy. So there's a bit of storytelling, there's a bit of storytelling, there's a bit of acting, there's a bit of speaking. Hmm? You can see the acting, the speaking and acting and all of that in his facial expression. Okay? All of these things matter. Now let's go to the other forms. There's writing as a form of expression. Writing. And there are different types of writing. There's storytelling, there's persuasion writing, which is like copywriting. There's creative writing, content writing, article writing, poetry, prose, all of these things. Story, I've already talked about storytelling. Um, which other one? There's a lot. And you can integrate whatever type of writing to whatever industry. This is the liberty that you have. You can decide that it's like there's no health writer that I know. Let me become a health or medical writer. And you start venturing into that space. Once you are able to master any art of expression, there is no industry you cannot dominate or penetrate. None. So you are writing and you are passionate about fashion. You can become a fashion writer. You master writing. You are passionate about what else? Sports. You can become a sports analytical writer. Are you getting it? Okay. So there's no limit to what you can achieve. Absolutely no limit. Now, there are other forms. There are other forms. And they can be intertwined. So take for instance speaking, coaching. I didn't mention coaching earlier. So coaching, speaking, training and all of that, you can still do them through certain media. Okay, so are you using social media? Are you using podcasts? Are you going to do blogs or vlogs, whatever? Okay, so Now, the foundations of powerful expression. Foundations of expression. Okay. I promise that we're not going to exceed an hour. Okay. We still have some time. We still have some time. Foundations of powerful expression. Okay. These are the things that will help you. The things that, some of the tips that will help you. Number one is self awareness. Know your voice, your values, your message. Rediscover and reinvent yourself. For those of you in the paid training, the group, right? What I'm going to do is, during the course of this training, during the course of this program, anything that I know will help you, right? There are some little resources here and there that I know will help you. I'll share them in the group. I'll pick them up, put them in the group, and then you go and watch them, go and read them. I'll share some of my resources with you. Okay? So, self awareness, storytelling, the power of personal and relatable stories. Storytelling, the ability to tell your own unique story. I'll still show you how to tell great stories. I'll teach you. Okay? Integrating emotion and authenticity, your uniqueness. Remember, I said that is one of the core foundations of expression. Uniqueness. See, I do not speak like anybody else in this world. Nobody else in this world speaks like me. And I don't train people to speak like me or to speak like other people. No. When I teach people public speaking, I teach them to go deep within and discover the unique speaker in them and bring out that unique speaker for the world to see, for the world to hear and listen to. You can't try to box yourself in. Do it like this because this is the way people have been doing it. And so what? What if you were meant to be the person who would discover the new way everybody would do it? And you sleep on the opportunity because you're waiting for, you're trying to imitate other people. No, no, no. So, emotion and authenticity, okay, as expression for you. There's also clarity and structure. You can know everything that you know, but if you don't know how to craft, create, arrange, organize, design, and deliver that thing that you know, nobody's going to buy it. Nobody's going to listen to you. If you don't know how to craft, create, design, deliver what you know or what you are interested in knowing, nobody will listen to you. There has to be clarity with your thoughts. There has to be clarity with what you're sharing, with what you are passing on. Okay? It's part of what I'll be teaching you. Being able to organize your thoughts. Part of what you'll be learning in this whole process. Okay? So, let me go to the next one. Right? Let me go to the next one. And that is going to be the challenges. This is the last one. This is the last we're going to talk about. Okay? Challenges, the barriers to expression. What is stopping you? What is stopping you? So, if you're listening to me at the sound of my voice now, I want you to, pick up a paper and a pen where you are. A paper and a pen, and write it down. Write down on that paper or book. I'll prefer your journal or your jotter. Write down on that paper what you think is stopping you from actually, passing your message. What is stopping you from becoming, from embracing this art of expression? What is stopping you from becoming visible becoming valuable to people, to more people. Because a lot of times you actually want to do stuff, you want to be known, you want to be a speaker, you want to do stuff, you want to do a lot of things, right? But then you look around and you are the first person to discourage yourself and say, oh, people will not listen to me. Maybe I don't know much. Maybe I'm still too young. Maybe I don't have the right experience. Maybe I don't have all the certifications. Maybe this, maybe that, you know. And you know that something is passing. You know you are gifted, though. You know you are gifted. You know you are wise. You know you have a lot of knowledge and experience. You know you've been to places, you've been through stuff. You know that the world deserves to hear your story. You know. But something is holding you back and you can't move from there. You can't move from there. So, what is that thing that's holding you back? Can you identify them here? Write them down. Could it be the fear of judgment, that people are going to judge you? Could it be stage fright? Are you afraid of taking the stage? You know, could it be fear of the unknown? Could it be fear of failure? Could it be perfectionism, overthinking? Oh, I need to do this. I need to get this. I need to do this before I do this. I need to do that before I do that. Could it be perfectionism that's actually holding you back? Could it be lack of clarity in your message? Or could it be lack of self-confidence? Or maybe as well, it could be incompetence. Maybe it could be the fact that you don't think that you know enough to actually share. And not just that you don't think, maybe you don't know enough. And maybe this is a call to deeper assignment, to deeper working in yourself. At a point of my life, I asked myself this question. And for somebody who is listening to me right now, it may also be a moment for you to question yourself. I asked myself this question. Yes, Chijioke, you've been doing well academically, academic champion, hitting diamond, great points and all of that. I mean, as far back as my primary school days, I was this smart chap. Getting into secondary school, that was my junior secondary school, that I asked that question to myself. And I said, okay, you've been hitting straight A's, straight A's back to back. Like, Chijioke, what do you really know? Like, if people bring you out from school system, from the four walls of the classroom into real life and ask you to share something that you know, what will you share? I told myself, what can you speak on for 5 minutes? 5 minutes. Nothing came to my head. Nothing. I reduced it to 3 minutes. My brothers and sisters, nothing came to my head. I said to myself, I know buku, but people in the outside world, they are not really so concerned about understanding photosynthesis. They are not so concerned about, you know, 3 tiers of government. They are not so concerned about there are 306 whatever, uh, uh, 24 days, 19 days, or 28 that. It's not their business. People have real problems and they are seeking real solution to the real problems that they have. So, Chijioke, what can you speak on for 3 minutes? From your head, there was nothing. It gave me great concern. Great concern. So I began that journey. I started trying to read other books beyond, school books and all of that. Okay. And when I took personal development more seriously, I used to be a very shy and timid person, despite being academically sound. But after 2020, the lockdown was a major opportunity for me to take courses upon courses upon courses, hundreds of them. But what it did to me at the end of the day was that at the end of that experience, I became more confident. I became more confident. And I tell people this: competence precedes competence first. You cannot confidently be doing rubbish. There are some people who are unripe, unripe, undone. You take one class of less than 1 hour, and next thing you've rushed to Facebook to change your bio. Digital marketing consultant, business analyst, business consultant for a 1 hour class. When you have not experienced real losses in business, you've not seen pain or frustration in business, you don't even have a registered business, but you're a business coach. Scary things are happening in this world. Okay, now that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about deep work on yourself. Deep work on yourself. That's part of what this training is going to do for you. That's part of what I'm here for. Okay, so could it be that you actually need to sit down and learn? Could it be that you actually need to dig deep? Could it be? Could it be? Could it be? Maybe. Maybe you need to dig deep. Maybe you need to read a book or two to understand the concept matter, to have more things to say. Maybe you need to take a course. Maybe you need to hang around a different category of people. Maybe, just maybe. That's what you have to think. And when you figure out, okay, this is what I need, go for it. Okay? So, what are your challenges? What are the barriers? What are the things that are holding you back from creating the life that you so desire? The life of expression. Okay? So, this is one thing I'm going to give as an assignment tonight. Hmm? With everything that I've taught this night, come to the group. Number one assignment. Number one, give feedback for today's session. Give feedback for today's session. These are the things that will determine if you get a certification or not. Okay? Give feedback for today's session. The certificate is just a proof of your learning. It's a proof that you attended this program, you took it seriously, you executed when you should. You know, it's a proof of your participation and possibly your competence, because you're going to be tested. You're going to go through some kind of testing, and for that reason, it's not everybody that will get the certificate. You have to show that these things made sense to you. So number one, go to the group, right? Share your experience tonight. Share your experience in tonight's training. Number two is write. Tell me what part, what aspect, what dimension of expression you would want to venture into. Okay? If you already do anyone, highlight it. The one you want to venture into, what you want to get better at, put it down. Okay? It will help me to be able to offer individualized advice to each one of you. Then, when you are done with that, that's number two. Number three, what are the challenges that you face? What are the challenges that you are facing when it comes to expression, so that we can tackle those challenges together. It's already 1 hour, and I wouldn't want to exceed this time. If anyone's got questions, put it down and I'll answer. Otherwise, we'll call it a night here. So let me give 3, 4 minutes for everyone to catch up. Then that'll be all for tonight. I'm still in the group. I'm in the group. So even if you don't get the question, if even if the questions are not here yet, you can drop it in the group. Okay, just in case you have questions, and then the session goes out. I would also want to plead with you. If you are here, you can share this particular one is open to all. Okay, so you can share it, you can share it with your friends. That's fine. But I would want something more from you. If you are attending this, you know put out something there. Put out a testimonial of some sort online. Tag me to it. I would see it. So I cannot say more than this, but I would really appreciate. Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone's got questions? Okay, so it seems we don't have any. Let's let's call it a night. Okay, okay. So I noticed something now, and what I noticed is the fact that click on a chat message to display it on the screen. Show it on the screen. Oops. What I noticed is the fact that I did not see any comment earlier. Okay. I didn't see any comment earlier. I don't know why Restream is not showing me any of the YouTube comments, and I'm seeing them now. I'm just seeing them right now. So I appreciate for all those who have commented. I appreciate that. So let me see comments I have here. As always, as always, Lawrence Ifesi, welcome. The Morgan, Rita. Oh, good to see you. Good to see you. Rotimi, Dorcas. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Okay. Yes, yes, I see you all. I see you all. Okay. So I see what you were saying. Rotimi, Dorcas, Rotimi. Um, yes, it's a combination of all these things. That's probably fear of judgment, lack of clarity, overthinking, practical, what I want you to know is these things will basically hunt you down. They will come, right? So okay, let me see if you can see. Yeah, they will come, they'll be there, right? But you have to fight them because you know where you are going. Okay, you are a star. You are a star. You are made for the zenith. Um, and you're getting there. Okay. There are some things that will fine-tune your steps. I know you're building a career in spoken word poetry. Thank God Catherine is going to be in this program. Use the opportunity to grab as much as you can, ask any questions that you have. She's going to definitely answer you. And stay true to the path. Stay true to the path. This is something that is going to reward you greatly. It's going to reward you. There are some things I can't share publicly any longer. But one of the things that has paid me the most is expression. Expression. You can imagine earning more than 3 times your salary in less than 45 minutes. You know, it's not rocket science. It may take time, but that time will definitely come. Stay true to the path. Stay true to the path. I'll tell you something about some of these things. You know, I'm just responding to the comments. So we're done with the training. We're done with the training for tonight. Those who want, if you are not yet in the main group and you want to join, feel free to reach out to me. Send me a message, about the onboarding process, and I'll send you the enrollment link. Now, like I was saying, um, this expression thing, it can be very rewarding. Okay, it can be very rewarding. Um, may not be so early, but the time will come, and each of them have their own advantages. Let me give you an example. You see, when it comes to public speaking makes you sound intelligent even if you are not. That's why a lot of times the people are the best public speakers, not necessarily the best doers, the best motivational speakers that can motivate people enough to vote for them. This happened in our campuses in school. You saw it. I saw it. Okay? So, public speaking can open a lot of doors for you in terms of, that perceived smartness. There are rooms I've entered because I speak and I speak well. There are people I've partnered with simply because I speak and I speak well. I have done training for the board a lot of times. If you know about the rehabilitation competency framework, with WHO, Medical Rehabilitation Therapists Board of Nigeria is currently shepherding that in Nigeria. The WHO Vision 2030. I've done almost 8 different training programs for Medical Rehabilitation Therapists Board of Nigeria. I get invited to train to speak till tomorrow. I have another one coming up in November. So it opens a lot of doors for you, doors of advantages, doors of favor for you. Beyond money, money is not the only currency you are looking at. So stay true to the path. Now, on the other hand, skills like writing will also open doors for you. There's nobody you cannot work for as a writer. There's no brand, no organization you can't work for as a content writer or a copywriter. Your own brand as a writer, you can improve your brand greatly. Okay? Now, now, The other part of it, spoken word poetry. Spoken word poetry may not make you a lot of money, right? May not make you a lot of money, but in fact, public speaking may not also make you a lot of money. But when it comes, it will come very big. It will come like a huge compensation. Are you with me? Public speaking may not make you a lot of money, but it will come huge when it comes. And even if it doesn't come as money, it will come as other things. But spoken word poetry will open doors for you, will put you on stages that you never imagined you could, get on. It will put you right on those places, on those platforms. You will get invited to perform in the biggest stages. Now, let me give you an example. Let me give you So, like I was saying, um, keep reaching out to organizations, to volunteer, to perform, to present your piece. Now, one of the things you can focus on is focus more on impact and less on rhymes. I'm giving you this as whatever brotherly, coachly, fatherly advice, whatever. Focus less on rhymes and more on impact, depth. That's one. Then two is master your speech, master your poem, so that you don't have to depend on your piece, on your material. There's a difference. There's a huge difference. I would rather listen to somebody who is, speaking without rhyming, spoken word, but no rhyme. So I said to him, "Oh boy, you are a boy." And this boy, no, I would rather listen to somebody who is not rhyming. I would understand, but he's making sense and speaking into my soul. That is the core of spoken word poetry. It's not just about rhymes. Okay? So these are things that you need to figure out. There are things that you need to dance around, sit on, and over. You definitely make a very good one. A very, very fantastic one. Focus on projecting your voice, on moving your hands, and that's why your both hands should be free when you are doing spoken word poetry. If you're doing poetry and then you come to the stage and put out your phones, yes, now that you're learning, you can do that, but a time will come when you have to drop all that. If you come to do spoken word poetry and you put out your phones, people are just going to get bored. They are no longer interested. They're like, this thing, I could listen to it. Just send us the PDF, we'll read it later. What's the point of all this ceremony? Okay? So I hope this blessed you. Have an amazing night rest. Don't forget the assignment. Don't forget the assignment. I'll be looking for them. Bye.